remember the Scott Peterson case, it came back to life this year because his conviction and the sentence of death was changed to a life without the possibility of parole. And then they were hoping to get a whole new trial based on some juror misconduct. As you know, Scott Peterson, Saturday, 20 years to the day for when he killed his wife, Laci Peterson, and 8-month-old Connor, yet unborn at that particular time. So that's where this thing is. Well, this week, he was denied a new trial by a California judge. Happened just yesterday. This was something they've been banking on based on, really, like I said, juror misconduct. His attorney, Pat Harris, released a statement yesterday about the recent developments. He said, quote, "Obviously, we're disappointed in today's ruling, but this case is far from over. Just in the last few months, we've learned new information that will prove Scott Peterson did not murder his wife, Laci, and we are going to continue to push forward until he is freed." So I would say that that's what attorneys do. That's what they say. I can't wait to see what the new evidence might be. Let's see what my panel has to think about this, because we thought this case was long gone. And I thought, Joe Richardson's here, Richard Schoenstein's here. Joe, I thought this case had really reached the punctuation when his sentence was effectively commuted to life without the possibility of parole from a death sentence. And yet, no. Did you think they had any chance with this juror misconduct argument?
Very little. And what the judge pointed out is the judge made a distinction between Scott Peterson's situation and the juror whose situation was questioned. Mark Garagos, these other folks, their thing was that, and Mark Garagos was the former attorney, their thing was that, she should have marked that, basically acknowledged that she was in a domestic violence situation that had the potential to make her biased, and therefore she could have been protested for cause and could have been dismissed from the jury. And so the judge said that this is really, her situation was more frankly, like a love triangle, and she ended up filing a TRO or try to get a restraining order, not because she was scared of the lady or she considered herself a victim. It's just that she didn't want to get in a physical altercation while she was pregnant and with child. And even the things that she said, it's kind of weird that she writes him letters afterward, and some of that kind of stuff, this particular juror. But even then, the judge said that was evidence of just her emotional reaction to the evidence. It didn't make her biased. It didn't make her someone that had predetermined that he was going to be convicted. And it's not as if there wasn't plenty of evidence there to convict him. I thought that it would come out this way. I think that it's I wouldn't say it's a fool's errand because it's their right to do, but I think it's slim and none him actually getting off on this thing and getting a new trial. He's lucky he got life. He got life because as opposed to death because of a juror issue. So he's going to have to take that and call it a day.
Yep, slim and none, and Slim left town. Is that how that goes? I see that picture of Scott Peterson there with his hair dyed when he was in jail. I mean, is there a beauty shop in the prison there? What's the deal there? That's not my question, Rich. My question is, what new evidence could possibly be out there that is going to reopen this case?
I have no idea. But, we have seen convictions overturned years and years after somebody's been put in prison for murder or for other crimes. It does happen. And the system allows a lot of collateral attacks on a sentence, especially if you did come up. I mean, if you all of a sudden got evidence that somebody else did the murders and not the person in jail, we have a system that allows for that kind of evidence to be presented. Scott Peterson needs to have an advocate, somebody willing to take on his defense and to pursue those claims and to bring them to the attention of the court. It appears he has that. He had somebody for this juror misconduct issue, and now this lawyer says they have evidentiary issues as well. We will see. Do I think there's something there? Probably not.
But who knows? They need a Perry Mason moment, where somebody stands up and, admits to having done it. Mark Garagos, maybe he'll get involved again. I remember covering the Winona Ryder shoplifting trial. Here's what I learned from Mark Garagos. He used to keep his glasses in his pocket like that, with just the earpiece hanging out. I just thought that was, I'm easily impressed, obviously. I just thought that was just a very cool way to just be ready to go. Anyway, we'll see if that actually happens with some new evidence there. Joe, if you were a betting man Can you put odds on whether or not there's ever going to be anything to get this notorious killer out of prison?
0.00001. That's all I'll give them. That they won't find it. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't get away from, him with a bag full of money and a fake beard. You know what I mean? Not exactly the conduct that you're undertaking when you are innocent. Plus, this is the first time I really saw that somebody can have a whole lot of circumstantial evidence and still be guilty and no direct evidence. I am sure that he did it.
Yeah, and to your point, Rich, it's good that we have a system where you do have all these options. That's just the way it should be. So you got to shut those all down, and they've been doing that. We'll keep you posted, of course, if Scott Peterson actually does get another shot based on any new evidence.